I'm going to use this 3/16 hardboard to make a track for my circular saw using only my circular saw. I think that's really cool because if you have a circular saw, then you have what you need to build a track for your circular saw. And if you don't have a circular saw, then why in the world would you need to build a track for one? Cool, huh? You can pick these tracks up from Home Depot made by Craig for like 80 or 90 bucks. And I'm sure that those work great. But making a track for a circular saw is probably going to make a better YouTube video than buying a track for a circular saw. So that's what I'm doing. So come along. I'm just going to mark and cut kind of freehand the first piece because I can true up this edge later. But then I'll be able to use this straight edge as a guide for the rest of my cuts and get good straight cuts for everything else. So let's do it. Cut the tapers in the wrong direction on this strip. This hardboard has a smooth face and a rough face, and I need the smooth face to be facing up on the track so that the saw runs over it smoothly and easily. So I'm going to have 2 slots that go along the length of this track, and rather than making those slots with vertical walls, I want to make them slightly tapered so that if the thickness of the slot varies or the thickness of the strip that I put on the bottom of my saw varies at all, it'll just raise and lower the saw in the slot instead of making it too tight or too loose. Now, cutting these slots at a taper like this might make it so that the saw just wedges into the track and doesn't work at all, but I think that it's worth a try doing it this way, and if it doesn't work, then I'll recut it with straight slots. Isn't that cool? I'm just gonna recut this strip. Didn't waste too much material, a little bit of a bummer. Here we go. I only need 2 of these, but you know, just in case I mess up or miscount, you know. I'm going to use double stick tape to put this all together. That'll make it so I can adjust these gaps if I need to because it's a really strong bond, but it's not a permanent bond. I could use wood glue, but again, it's permanent and I don't have 10 million clamps, so double stick tape it is. There's probably a better way to do that, but whatever. I'll just trim these pieces of tape with a razor blade because those would be in the way. This goes right here, like that, spaced by these. But I'm gonna put little pieces of cardboard underneath these to raise this up a little bit in the groove so that it will have a little bit of room to go down, to settle down in and make for a nice tight snug fit. Hopefully not too tight, but it'll loosen over time, I'm sure. Just gonna line this first strip up with this edge, which should be in line with the blade. And to line up this other one, just gonna drop it in the slot. It's got like no play in it. It's not as smooth as I want it to be, but I got a secret weapon. It's a little bit grippy right now, grippier than I want it to be. You know, if you see it moving, you can't have that. That's nothing a little Johnson's paste wax won't fix. All right. What do you say we give that a try now? I'm thinking it's going to be about 1,000 times better. What about you? Can you guys hear that? Is that picking up? Ooh, baby, I love your ways. Can you hear that? Every day. Hey. Now I'm going to use the track to true up the track. Its first test. Final step will be to put some rubber on the bottom of this track so it doesn't slide around at all when I'm using it. I'm just going to use this drawer box liner. I'll cut some strips of it and double stick tape it to the bottom of this track, and that should work really well. So with these tracks, the reference edge tends to degrade over time. My plan to compensate for that will be to replace the rubber on the bottom of it, and when I reinstall new rubber on the bottom, I will just stick it out beyond the edge a little bit and recut it with a circular saw, and that'll form a new reference edge. So let's get a few strips of this rubber taped on and see how she works. Well, this cost about 20 bucks to make. You could spend 90 bucks on a 4-foot one, or even more on an 8-foot one. Anyways, you choose. Thanks for watching.